everybody, SlimKirby here. Welcome to the extras of the Mario Party Superstars playthrough. That's right, we have officially finished the Mario Party portion of the playthrough. We've played all 5 boards. We've seen the experience of playing a normal board game of Mario Party in this game. But now we're going to take a look at some of the extra content that we have. So we're going to go to Mount Minigames today. We're going to check out some of the extra minigame modes that they have. And we'll pretty much move on from there and end the project shortly after that. So yeah, Mount Minigames is essentially the minigame mode of this game. Basically, some kind of shorter games of, like, you know, play minigames to a best of this many wins type of scenario. You can also play some of the rare minigames that you won't get in a standard board playthrough. You know, just those normal, very short minigame themed modes of sorts. Now, I will say, I do think Mount Minigames is actually kind of a weakness of this game. I feel like the modes that they have here are not very fleshed out, and I think they could have actually done with bringing back some classic things, like the minigame Decathlon. They could have brought back some of those very interesting and more unique modes that were in, like, Mario Party 5 through 7. There were some things they honestly could have done here to make this mode a little more interesting, but unfortunately it is kind of very bare bones, and we'll see how bare bones it is as we go through all the different modes that we have here. But for today, for today's video anyway, we're actually going to be taking a look at all of the minigames that we haven't played yet. So any minigame that we could have gotten in the last 5 weekends that we didn't get, we'll actually check out in this video. So before we do, I'm going to pick my character. I think I'm actually going to go with Rosalina today. I did say that I wanted to play as her at some point, so we'll go ahead and play as her today. And then we'll go ahead and randomize the computer players. Okay, we'll go with this. And yeah, we won't select AI difficulty just yet. We'll actually do that when we get to the actual theme park itself, I guess you could say. Welcome to Mount Minigames. So here we have a couple of different modes, and one thing that's kind of cool here is every mode on here you can play offline and online. So online's not just reserved for the board playthroughs. You can also do some of these modes here online as well, and you can actually use that as a way to unlock some of the achievements in this game too, but I'll get into that a bit later, obviously. So here we have free play, where you can just play any minigame you want. You have tag match, which is 2 versus 2 minigames, where you play to, you know, first team to get to this number of wins. You have trio challenge, which is kind of a 1 versus 3 type of mode. Sports and puzzles, where you can play all the sports and puzzle games in this game. You have survival mode, which is an online-only mode, where you can just play against minigames against people online. You have the daily challenge, which are just challenges that kind of rotate daily. I wouldn't say they're anything like too amazing or anything, but you know, you could get some playtime out of this, like whenever you whenever you start playing this game and you just kind of want some general practice with some of the mini games and stuff. And then you have coin battle, which is again kind of a not really a best to this many wins type of thing, but whoever has the most coins at the end of this mode will basically win coin battle. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be spending most of our time in free play today, if not all of our time. Here you can select what you want your computer difficulty to be, so we'll go with hard, and then we'll keep the minigame help screens on as well. But yeah, here is where you can play all 100 minigames that are in Mario Party Superstars. And we have a lot to play through today. There's actually quite a number of games we have to get through. And they are sorted by type. Unfortunately, they're not sorted by game, which would actually be really helpful to me. But I'll figure out a way to get through it. At least it seems like they are kind of arranged by chronological at the very least. So it goes from 1 through 10. But still, it's you know, a little obnoxious the way this is set up. But yeah, you have the entire category, you have just the free-for-alls, the 1 versus 3s, 2 versus 2s, duels, coins, sports and puzzles, and the high score minigames as well. And of course you can make a favorites list too. But yeah, we're just going to go through all the games one at a time, and I'll just go over the games we didn't get to play in the playthrough yet. So, the first game we have is Mushroom Mix-Up from Mario Party 1. Hurry and move the pattern that matches the sign I hold up. Yep, that's pretty much what this is. But yeah, Mushroom Mix-Up is a game that I think does actually feel pretty different in this game. I mean, it's the same basic concept. You go to the mushroom of the flag that Toad is holding up. But the physics for this game do feel a lot different. In fact, it's actually less punishing to ground pound people, I've found. Because in the original Mario Party, like whenever you ground pounded, like you would kind of bounce off of the player you'd be ground pounding. But here, like, you'll just flatten them straight away, and that can be like really annoying, like especially right there as you saw. And like, my god, people just want to keep bouncing like all the time on this. This is a game where I feel like in this version it's better to be aggressive, because if you're too passive, like you'll just kind of get like messed up by all the other players. It's really, really annoying. Okay. Oh, shoot. No! Ah, dang. That is one problem. If you try to move too fast, you might accidentally ground pound if you like double tap the button accidentally, so that is something you gotta look out for. But yeah, I do kind of like this version. It does feel different than the original Mushroom Mix-Up, which I do really like, but I feel like it still feels good to play. It still feels like it's a very, very good and very faithful to, you know, the original. Next up for Mario Party 1, we have a 2 versus 2 game. We have Bobsled Run. Now, I know this game is also in Mario Party 2, but this is based off of the Mario Party 1 course. And yeah, you just, you know, race to the end. This is another game that I do think feels, you know, a bit different, at least in terms of how it controls and feels. Especially if you're playing with 2 human players. Like, it's really, it can be really awkward to move the bobsled, but as usual, you start off, you mash your button to get moving, and then you actually get into the game. But yeah, like, I feel like moving, like, left and right, like, it's not as loose. Like, you really have to, like, commit to turning in this version. And, like, whenever you hit a wall, like, you really, like, feel the wall. Whenever you hit it, like, you won't just, like, slide against it. You'll kind of crash and slow down majorly. So that is something you do have to get used to playing this version. But I still think it feels good. I think I do prefer the original over this, if I'm being honest. But, you know, I do understand why they kind of tried something different, because they had to kind of remove a little bit of the rubber banding aspect that I feel like the original version had, and I think that's kind of what makes this game feel different, I think. But yeah, it's still pretty similar to its original rendition. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next game, and oh boy, this next one. I'm surprised we actually didn't get this in the main part of the playthrough. But the next game we have is Tug of War. That's right, they brought Tug of War back. I don't know why they did that. It's a control stick spinning minigame, and, you know, to prevent lawsuits and all the other drama that happened with this game originally, they have a warning message. To avoid irritation to your skin and or damage the control stick, do not rotate it with the palm of your hand. Here's the thing. I don't really mind playing this that much in this game. And I think that's largely just because of the control stick being better. The original N64 control stick is really bad. It's not fun to play with. That was the huge main problem with this game in the original. In this game, because the controller, at least for like the Pro controller, I'm sure that using the Joy-Cons must be a nightmare. But for like the Pro controller, that's nothing. That seriously doesn't feel like it's that bad at all. But just the fact they did bring back this game, I have no idea why they did that. I don't think this was a good choice. You know, it's here just because it's notorious for being that game that everyone remembers. I feel like that's the only reason why it's here. So, definitely not the worst game to play. It also doesn't last very long, too. So that's another reason that it's probably not as bad as what it was in the original. But it's still bad. They should really stop trying to bring this game back. They really, really should. Okay, so that's actually it for Mario Party 1. We're going to move on to Mario Party 2 now. The first game we have is another 1 versus 3. We're going to be playing... trying to find it here. I think it's with the coin minigames. Yep, it is. Next game we have is Quicksand Cash. So this is a coin minigame. And basically for this game, the one thing they tried to do is they tried to kind of balance it a bit more for the team. And I guess when I say balance, they actually kind of made it easier for the team. Because the goal here is just getting coins. That's the goal for either side here. You know, when you're the solo player, you just try to move the quicksand to get the coins. Essentially, the main change, though, is the team, they collect for the entire team. They don't just collect for themselves. Because that was the thing about the original, is even for the team, like, the coins you got were just for you. They weren't for, like, the rest of your team. So it's more likely that the team is going to get a lot more coins in this. And I'd say for the most part it is better because of that. I definitely prefer playing as the team in this one, though, because, again, like, there's only so much the single player can do if the team of 3 splits up enough. But yeah, that's basically that game. I think it's better, but it's not really a game I'm crazy about still. But yeah, let's go ahead. Oh, I didn't mean to go to select a course. Okay, well, hold on. I'm going to get back into the mode, unfortunately. Gotta remember to hit choose a minigame, not choose a course. But yeah, still going to go with Mario Party 2. And in advance, if I do accidentally select a game that we have played before, my bad. I've been keeping track during the playthrough, but, you know, there's always the possibility that I may have missed something. And I know I did play a few games, like, in between, like, my recordings as well, so there could be a game that is like, did I play that? I remember playing this, but then it was probably in one of those games. But next up we have Roll Call, also from Mario Party 2. This is the standard counting game. You count, at least in this version, you count toads. And you gotta get the exact number right. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I counted 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I counted 18 again. I'm gonna stick with 18. Yoshi, that's a lot more than 15, I'm afraid. But yeah, I think games like this do kind of work pretty well. I mean, roll call's not exactly hard or anything, but like I think this kind of game works well for the system in play where, you know, you get ranked and you get coins based on how you rank in the minigame. So, you know, it has a nice system where it's just like, you know, if you tie, you know, you get the same credit, but if you at least get closer than some other players, you still get compensated for that as well, which I think is kind of nice. So next Mario Party 2 game we have, we're moving on to the 2 versus 2 category for this. We are going to be playing Cake Factory. Cake Factory is alright. Really, I mean, the only difference between this and the original is just how it feels like picking up your ingredients. And that's the thing. If you're so used to how something works in the original, it's going to feel odd doing it in this version. So the timing definitely feels different, for sure. So, you know, because of that, I feel like it's one of those, like, it's about the same type of scenarios where, you know, there's not really too much to say about this because even though the timing's different, it still pretty much plays out the same. You just have to get used to the new timing. As far as what I prefer, I don't really know. Because I feel like whenever you got something right in the original Cake Factory, you could like immediately pick up something, but even in this game, if you correctly get the right ingredient and you place it or whatever, like there's still like a little bit of a delay, so that can kind of throw you off. But again, I think that's just a case of getting used to the new timing more than anything, so I can't really say that's a negative, just something that I've personally noticed through playing that game anyway. So next up we have Hot Rope Jump, which it's in the Mario. Oh no, it's in the Mario Party 2 category. But yeah, this game is also in Mario Party 1, but it's obviously the Mario Party 2 version where the jumps don't actually cap off here. You just go until someone loses or everybody loses. But in addition to just playing the game normally, you can also do endless mode where you can play until you basically get knocked out. And I like that because it allows you to try to set high scores for, honestly, a pretty fun minigame. This is definitely one of my favorites in Mario Party 2. I liked it in Mario Party 1 as well, but when they removed the 20 jump cap, I think it just made the game a lot better, if I'm being honest, because, again, it's just seeing how long you can last. Games like this are always, like, the most fun. That's why I love Book Squirm as well, and Mario Party 4. These games are just fun to play. They're fun to play, and they're fun to deal with. And Mario Party should do more stuff like this, too. But yeah, my record right now is 69. I've honestly never really put an honest effort to see like how high I could get, if I'm being honest. I could probably get over 100 if I really wanted to set my mind to it. It's just, I don't know. I just don't really have the time I want to commit to that, if I'm being honest. Now watch as I get 100 in this attempt. I probably won't. Maybe I'll try to beat my record, though. I don't know. The only tip I can give with a game like this, especially one that's dependent on button presses, is don't try to like hold down the button too much. Sometimes just a very quick tap of the button is enough to make the jump, so that's honestly what you should probably focus on. Don't try to hold the button because you might land and like, you'll have to tap it again and it may not be enough time to do it properly. Well, I made it to 100. I was not expecting to get that. See, I told you I could get to 100 if I put my mind to it. But yeah, definitely gotta once again give shout-outs to Scottman, who during PAX East 2014, we were playing a game of Mario Party 2, and he and I lasted for a very long time in this game. In Mario Party 2's version, I mean, obviously. We literally maxed out the counter of Mario Party 2 to 99 and kept going for like an additional couple of minutes, which is pretty crazy. Well, I've gotten to 200 now. You know, when I decided I wanted to record Mario Party Superstars extras today, I honestly didn't expect I'd be getting 4 times a better score on my hot rope jump record. You know, I got another jump right there. Like, they should add that to the total. I know I didn't jump over the rope, but still. Ah, there we go. Wow, I was not expecting to get that many more jumps, but here we are. Okay, well, I'm going to cut down some of that footage because I don't want this video taken forever because I just had a massive record in hot rope jump here. Okay, next minigame, and this is a game I'm actually excited to showcase. We're going to be playing bumper balls. That's right, the bumper balls. And you can actually pick different stages. Actually, you know what? Can you do that with roll call too? That's not roll call. Yes, you can pick the different enemies for roll call as well. But yeah, we'll just look at the courses for bumper balls. I believe it's... yeah, it's just the same courses from Mario Party 2. I don't really need to show all of these. We'll just go to course number 3, I guess. But yeah, bumper balls. This is a game that I think is actually kind of highly overrated now. I used to like the idea of it because I think it's perfect for a Mario Party minigame, but here's the thing. I think it is better in this game, and not because, like, you know, it has better mechanics or anything. I do think it's, like, better and easier to control the balls, that's for sure. But what I think makes this game better is the fact that due to the system in place, you can't get a tie game in here. So, I mean, 2 people can be the last survivors, but they'll both get credit for the win. So it won't be just a case of, like, a giant stalemate where, oh, nobody wins because there's multiple people still left. So at the very least, you can still get coins even if you don't knock off everybody, which I think is good. It should be like that, honestly. So yeah, because of that, I think this game is actually really good in Mario Party Superstars, and I'm glad they made that change, because it's, honestly, it makes this game a lot better, I think. And that was my fault. I committed to knocking him off there, but I missed. And of course, when you get that close to the edge, your opponents are going to want to knock you off instead, so... now, that's pretty much the way that works, but yeah, you can also play on an icy course, which is kind of cool. The icy course is probably honestly pretty hard because you slip around a bit more. And of course, there's just the standard, like, fire tower course as well, where, you know, you don't really feel too much of a difference as far as, like, your movement is concerned. Next up, we're going back to the 2 versus 2 category for another Mario Party 2 minigame. This time we have the minigame Sky Pilots. And I like this game. This is one of my favorites in Mario Party 2. Definitely one of the best 2 versus 2 Mario Party games in the N64 era. And what makes this game cool is that, you know, you're racing. It's a racing game. Racing games are always cool. But both team members have something different to do. And one thing that I've actually noticed while playing this game, as you can see, my wings are not really moving. But if you look at my speed, you can see that I'm actually moving faster than my computer opponents. So yes, it's honestly better to just like mash, or not really mash, but just don't do the control stick movement in rhythm, and you'll actually go faster than like what you think you could go. And as a result, me and my good friend Bowser 2 Queen, Bowser Girl as I call her a lot of the time, we actually set a pretty good record in this game, and we were in the, I forget like how, when you look at the high scores online, I forget how high it goes, like if it's like just the top 10 or top 30 or top 50 or whatever. But we actually were on that list, and as you can see, we had a score of like 46 seconds, which is honestly pretty good. So we actually had times that were actually pretty high up there. I know I tweeted about it once. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably saw the picture, but I'll see if I can potentially find a picture of that and showcase where we were on the leaderboard. But yeah, as a result, this is probably like one of my favorite 2 versus 2 minigames they brought back, and I think it's great that this game is actually back again. But yeah, really, really good minigame. I definitely approve of it coming back. And the last game we're playing for Mario Party 2 is a very weird one that they bring back, but it's another 2 versus 2 game. We have Dungeon Dash from this game. Also kind of similar to Desert Dash from Mario Party 1. But yeah, it's the game where you just, you know, press left and right in conjunction with your teammate. And this is definitely a game where you want to get, like, on rhythm with your teammate. Like, if you're playing with someone online, it may not hurt just to go, like, you know, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, just so you get that rhythm correctly. We don't have to worry about it too much since we have a computer player we're working with, but, yeah, that's pretty much how this game works. I wouldn't say this was like a super great minigame to bring back, though. It's kind of one of those games where, you know, it's the same course layout every single time, and it's going to really come down to who can just more efficiently and more quickly get the rhythm with the movement of the skis, I guess. But yeah, not a bad minigame, just not an amazing one either.